First of all, giving all praise and all glory and all honor to the God of glory, the God of our forefathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. I bid you all in the tongue of our forefathers, Shabbat Shalom. Shavuot. Giving due respect to the leaders of D.C.B., due respect to the leader of Shema Yisrael, even Chief Principal of Ben Zavulim, and to all the leaders, congregations, and the sound of my voice all across the world is teaching God's people in righteousness and truth. Wow. We were just talking with my brothers and whatnot, and we was talking about our condition, man. You know, so much trouble in the world. It's a lot of drama going on, and it's right at our doorstep. You know what I'm saying? And it's terrible. It's frightening. It's frightening. You know, from day to day, every time you turn on the news, you turn on the TV, all you hear is body counts. Streets is full of blood. It's red outside. Nothing but blood out there. And we got to ask ourselves, what mean this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't look like it's getting better. You know, we got a mayor that we voted in because we wanted him to solve the situation. But don't seem like he's able to do that. This is something else. You know, we got to look at the state of our people, the state of the black man. What is the state of the black man? Bad condition. You know, we like to start off saying, you know, our communities, but we don't have no communities. Right. We keep saying we have communities, but we don't have no community, because a community is where you have your values, right, where you have your opportunities, where you have your resources, where you have your language, where you have your morals, right, jobs. We have none of that. We don't have no community. Every time you talk about a black community, where at? We don't have no black community. We don't have a black community. You know what I'm saying? We the most deprived people, and we happy as hell. We deprived by everybody, and we still happy as hell, busy singing and dancing. You know, that's all we do. You know what I'm saying? How could you feel that way after all these years, 400 years? And that's all we do is sing and dance, you know, and entertain. We're always into the entertainment. That's what we love. That's what we enjoy, entertaining and whatnot. You got to look at the word entertain. Entertain, words have meaning. The word entertain, the word enter, first of all, the first word is enter, meaning come in. And then the other part is tain. What that mean? Stay in, come in. Hold you inside. Come in and stay in. And that's all we do is entertain. We come in and we stay in. We have no resources. Black people is the economic engine of America. We are the workhorse of America. And yet we don't have nothing. We don't have nothing. Black people through our hands a year come $1.3 trillion a year. And 96% of us of that money goes out. 96%. So basically, let's do the math. We basically end up with 2 cents. Damn. We don't produce nothing. The only thing black people produce is sweat. You look at it and whatnot, you say, out of 47 million people here, black people, we only got 2 black hospitals? How do you justify that? One in Harlem and one where? Washington? How do you justify that? You don't see that in any other community around the world. We don't have that no place else around the world but in our communities. And now we got a hatred so deep on each other that's ridiculous. I seen the other day a guy went and I mean, it's just no morale here, no more morality. Guy the other day killed a woman working in a subway for too much mayonnaise on the sandwich. Too much mayonnaise on the sandwich. Death. There's a story over there, and I think Memphis or something like that. It was a family affair. They was having a celebration of what was it? Anniversary of some sort. And one part of the family got upset with the other part of the family because they was getting too much chicken. You don't play with black people with that chicken. No, not on the cruise. At their house, they was having a celebration, and mom told son, "Go get that thing. Go get that thing. Go get that burner, because they getting too much chicken over there. Over chicken." Son went and got that burner and started lighting up the place. This is relatives. They don't care. They will kill their best friend. They will kill their mama. This is the state that we in. This is horrible living that we're dealing with, man. Unbelievable. Then you got to wonder, God made it clear, right? We made it clear in Exodus 26. You say, well, why is this happening? What's going on? It's clear. Exodus 26, God said, if you do not take heed to yourself, Israel, I will hit you 7 times more for your sin. 7 times more. So now I'm beginning to understand why we doing all the stuff we doing out here. 7 times more. So now we out here shooting up each other, killing each other for chicken and mayonnaise and everything else that don't make no sense. 7 times, that's 7 times. So what's the next 7 coming? You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know what the next 7 is. And we done came through this pandemic, but there's a white man that owns the economic summit in Switzerland, the Global World Economic Summit. I'm sure some of y'all know about this. And he said his name, what did he say? Klaus Schwab, that's what he said. He said, to put on record, he said, pain is coming. He said, pain is coming. He said, the next pandemic is going to make this pandemic look like a small disturbance in comparison to what they plan on doing. What they plan on doing.
Listen to the message.
They said they're coming with a cyber attack. Now, a cyber attack brings complete halt to all power and supplies. And as we can see it now, supplies is coming in short. They already done tried it out already. They hit a school, they hit a college, a small college, and they hit a business, and they hit a hospital. But they don't report this on the news. They just testing the waters. We dealing with gas price. You can't get baby formula. This inflation is crazy. I went to the store the other day and bought 2 lemons for $5. 2 lemons for $5.
I ain't buying it.
I said, what? I mean, it's so disrespectful. That food price is going crazy. You go in there with about $25, $30, man. You get you about 4 items if you're lucky. 4 items if you're lucky. And yeah, that's the low level items. With no bag. Because you got to pay for that bag now too. So you got to carry them in your hand and you ain't got no bag. This inflation is going crazy. So something got to give. I'm going to tell you, man, like I said, black people is the economic engine of America. But when white people catch a cold, black people get pneumonia. I'm going to tell you something. You got to watch this now. And just, it got the economic chart, which, you know what I'm saying, if you do your own, you go check the economic chart, you see where people are placed in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to tell you, know what I'm saying, we all talk about racism and whatnot. Most people don't even know what racism is. They don't even know what it is, but I'll get to that in a minute. Economic chart says on the household income, number 1 on the chart, anybody can guess. Number 1, people, nation, on the chart.
Chinese.
My man. Asians. Asians are number 1. Now you got to listen to this because Asians didn't start really coming in here until the mid 80s.
Right.
That's when they started actually pouring in. So you mean to tell me by 1985, 1986, here we are, 2014, and that's when they got on top. 2014, they became the highest rate economic people. Think about it now. The highest people on the economic household chart. So that means they're doing their homework. One thing you know about economics, Asians practice group economics. Black people rather look good, rather look rich than be rich.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an illusion. We'd rather look rich than be rich. Because all our money goes out, nothing comes in. You can't go in no other community and see this. Number 2, of course, is the Caucasian, the white man. Number 3 is the Hispanics.
What?
That's right. Hispanics.
All right.
This is called group economics. We the only people that take everything and go all out with it. We the only people that act like this. And of course, we on the bottom of the totem pole. That's the list right there. Now let's go back to racism. Racism, everybody is racist.
Yeah.
You have to be racist. There's nothing wrong with it. Because where did the word come from? The word comes from what? Race. It's a race. It's a group of people. Every group of people is trying to race, to compete, to be on top. What's wrong with that? Every group of people is competing to be on top. We want to be on top, but we can't be on top because we don't stick together. Because everybody know Negroes don't stick together. But every other people, they stand strong together. And they build. They build. Nobody else comes in. You can't get no other people. You go to any Italian neighborhood, all the stores in the community, money is circulating, goes around at least 3 or 4 times. You go into Italian, you go into China, you go into any group of people, and the money stays in the community and it spins around at least 5 or 6 times. Our money comes in, goes out. I don't care who you want to call on. You call on these black ladies, you think this going to save you, that one going to save you. You know, you had the other guy there, black guy trying to go for mayor and whatnot. It's like, brother, please. You know what I'm saying? You got this mayor right now, he hanging out with rappers. He hanging out with rappers. But this portion today is going to tie into all of this. I want to thank my brother, Chief Uzziel, for giving me such a beautiful, beautiful lesson today. I just pray to God I could do it some justice. Because this is a beautiful, beautiful lesson.
Exactly.
Without God, we can't go nowhere. We can't do nothing. Nobody's coming for us. Nobody's coming for us. We got to really lock that in. Because we keep thinking that we got other ways out. And there's no way out. There's only one way out. There's only one way. That's Yahweh. That's it. That's the only way. We ain't got no other way. We can keep playing games and spinning around like a dog chasing his tail, but we keep ending up nowhere. And we keep ending up worse than we were before. Because at least before, in the 60s, we had morals and values. And we stuck together, and you know what I'm saying? Sisters stuck together. You know, these black women are still going over to these Chinese places. They tell you they don't like it, these Asian, Korean places, getting their nails done. And the other day I seen another clip with them beating the crap out the sister in there. Like, how much would it take for you to know these people don't care for you, they don't want you in there? The whole damn place jumped on the black girl. Then we just had that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Let's go with the book of Numbers. We're going to start in chapter 22, verse 2.
The book of Numbers, chapter 2.
God began to get Israel going and whatnot, you know, this land and whatnot. You done killed one of the small Canaanite nations. You done did Og, you done did Shion. You know what I'm saying? So now Israel's there and the tip of Moab there, and they're sitting there. And we're coming into like the 38th year of our exile from Egypt, being in that wilderness. The 38th year. And because God had to get rid of all the wicked. He had to get rid of the wicked, so he had to get a nation that was going to be worthy enough to go inside this land. You heard the key? Worthy enough.
That's right.
We got to be worthy enough. This ain't going to just happen like, we ain't just get up out of here and God going to take all these niggas back to Israel with their niggatry. You bringing your niggatry over back in Israel. First thing you want to do is invest in a strip club or something. Yeah, I'm bringing some nigga lights. New Age Israelites. Nah.
Be a waste of time.
You want to be in a multiverse or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Moab said, look here. Look at these people, man. Look how many of them out there, and they're afraid. And and it's logical. You done seen your neighboring people coming at you. But the thing about it, it was logical for him to think like that, but if he only knew. Right. God made it clear. Don't mess with Moab. I'm not giving you that land right now. Then he really have nothing to worry about.
It was good.
But fear make you do crazy things. Fear make you react in different ways. That's why it's normal to have fear, but it's better to have God. Because with that, God can soothe your mind before you do something drastic, before you do something foolish, before you make wicked mistakes. So what did he do? Let's go on.
Verse 4.
Thing about it right here, you see that you keep hearing Moab and you keep hearing Midian. But you know what I'm saying, there was people that dwelt together a lot. And from what I understand, and some researchers said, you know, I'm not saying it is so, but at the same time, I think the dynasty changed over, and actually the king that was over Moab was a Midianite, because he keeps saying he sent to his people. But yet it's the king of Moab. Because you know, these things happen, you know, like Pharaoh. One time it was a different Pharaoh. Didn't look like the Pharaoh that Moses met. It looked like something that came out of Greek or something. So the dynasty change over. That may be the case or may not. You know, do your research. Let me know what you come up with. But this guy is thinking, though, he said, look, I know how to beat these people. Get me somebody to curse them. This is the spiritual people right here. If I can get these people cursed spiritually, then we will be able to defeat them. I said, holy crap.
That's the key.
Did you see something today?
What they doing?
The same thing.
Nah, man.
They said, we defeat this. Contacting their God, we can beat them down.
Checkmate.
Just like today. Checkmate.
Key. Yep.
Wisdom, it works all the time. It said, get these people, something, curse these people. Just like America do now. They give us some of everything. We into some of everything. Thank you. We into some of most of the craziest nonsense you ever wanted to see. Who's serving all type of stuff, man? They in the church twerking in the church. Well, somehow there's a man that he's aware of that's well known to be able to curse people. If he curse you, you curse.
Right.
And if he bless you, you bless. This man has a reputation for this. And it goes on to say,
verse 7. And the elders of Moab and elders of Midian departed with their rewards of divination in their hand. And they came to Balaam and spoke unto him the words of Balak. And he said unto him, lodge ye here the night, and I will bring you back word as Jehovah may speak unto me.
So here you go. They brought him a divinest fee.
Right.
There's a fee that comes with, you know, paying a higher profit. Now, you and I both know it never was then, and it ain't now a profit for hire.
Right.
But evidently, this guy is for profit for hire. He comes out, and they come with the fee, and they come with their princes, and they come before him, and they tell him what the case might be and whatnot, and he goes on, and he says, well, look here, lodge here tonight. Let me go talk with God and see what he had me to do. So obviously, this so-called prophet,
right, say it,
was a man with spiritual gifts.
That's right.
He was spiritually gifted. He had that connection. And we know this is not rare. We've seen this in the book a couple of times. You know, we've seen the rich of Endor was able to bring Samuel back from the grave. So these things do exist, they do happen. But God says stay away from sorcery and divination and things of this sort. He brought you out of Israel and protected you from this type of stuff. So what happens?
And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam.
Say where we at, please.
Verse 9.
Okay.
And God came to Balaam and said, what men are these with thee? And Balaam said to God, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, behold, the people that is come out of Egypt, it covers the face of the earth. Now come and curse them. Peradventure I shall be able to fight against them, and I shall drive them out.
Now the first thing God asked him to say, who are these men? Now you and I both know God know who they are. God ain't asking to find out some information from you. He want to know if you know what you're dealing with. Do you know who these men are? Because these are wicked men. Do you know from whence they come? This is what he's asking them. And he tells them, yeah, he wants me to come and do this and do that, and I'm going to curse this people and this, that, and the other. And it goes on to say.
Verse 12, and God said to Balaam, thou shalt not go with them. Thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed.
No, God said, I'll think about it.
No, sir.
God said, maybe, give me a minute.
No, sir.
He hesitated for a minute because maybe, let me see if this is right.
The Lord don't change.
He said from the beginning, clear and conscious. He said, no, do not go. That's what he said.
That's what he said.
He said, do not go.
That's right.
He, without a hesitation. He didn't give it a thought. Do not go. You can't get no clearer than that.
13. And Balaam rose up in the morning and said to the princes of Balak, go home, for Yahweh refused to give me leave to go with you. And the princes of Moab rose up, and they went unto Balak and said, Balaam refuses to come with us. And Balak said, yet again, princes more mighty and more honorable than they.
Now here you go. Listen to, you can hear it in his voice. He said, listen, go ahead, because God don't want me to do it. He's seen that you, if you listen to the words he's saying, listen, I probably don't really have a problem with this.
Right.
You know, I might not really have a problem with it, but you know, God don't want me to go. But I might be able to be persuaded. Because that's what it sounds like, because now they double back.
Right.
With more honorable men.
And more money.
And more money. So he said, listen, okay, so go on, read.
And they came to Balak, and they came unto Balaam and said unto him, thus saith Balak the son of Zippor, let nothing, I pray thee, hinder thee from coming unto me, for I will promote thee unto very great honor, and whatsoever thou sayest unto me, I will do.
That's right, because that's the money will make people, the thing about money, how can you say it? People will commit to anything for a price. People will commit to anything because now they ain't talking about a fee no more. He said, I'm gonna promote you with great honor. Man, I'm getting you some real riches. You got the real princes out there now. You got the real princes coming up, and when he look at them, saying, man. So now he's saying, you know, God already told him no.
6 digits.
Yeah. He said, look here. He said, listen, why would they come back? He didn't make that clear. He didn't make that clear. He said, you know, I might, you know, maybe, you know, because we all got that and whatnot. Man, distinguished man, spoke to a distinguished woman. And he said, excuse me, miss, would you sleep with me if I give you $1 million? And she thought for a moment, and she said, yeah, okay. He said, well, let me ask you, what about $50? She turned around and felt that offensive and turned around and looked angry at him and said, what do I look like to you, a whore? He said, miss, we already established that you're a whore. The only thing we trying to negotiate is the price. This happens all the time with people. And turn people away from God because people always want to put a price on the word of God for more money and more things. And that's what you see out here, these prosperity preachers and whatnot. That's what you see out there. They don't tell the truth. They don't want to tell the word of God. They want to tell you sweet nothing's in your ear because they like living in the mansions and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, even a Muslim, even my brother Farrakhan. Farrakhan know the truth. He said out his own mouth.
All the time.
T.D. Jakes know the truth. They don't even touch certain subjects. They say, excuse me, TJ Jake says, is homosexuality wrong? Well, I would say that, God loves everybody. That's not what God's books say.
God don't know.
They asked the other guy, what's his name? The guy? Austin. They asked Austin. Austin said, well, he's always smiling, blinking his eyes. Well, I don't really come for that. I just come to uplift people and give them a joyful. No, that's not the question. You just want to tell the truth to the people.
So they can cancel it.
So this happens all the time. Money will make people do things that they never thought they would do. Believe you me. That money, that price, everybody got a price. Let's read some.
Come therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people. Verse 18. And Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of Yahweh my God to do anything small or great.
Okay, why is you entertaining this man? God made it really clear and precise. No, do not go. He said, if he give me his house full of gold and silver. This guy is a real bad motorcycle here. This guy, you hear it, right? You hear his voice, you hear the conversation. He's saying, well, I'm just saying, I really couldn't do much, but, maybe we could talk. Because he's still entertaining the temptation. And that's the thing what we're seeing right now. When you entertain temptation, the first one they came, and instead of going by what God said no, he entertained it. So now temptation comes back stronger.
Yep.
Temptation comes back stronger. Okay, you buzzing with that? I'm gonna bring this to you now. So you basically folded in.
Yep.
Because you should say, listen, why you guys at my doorstep again? Goodbye.
Curse them.
Goodbye. That's the end of that. But you see, he thought that he could convince God. Like he could persuade God and change God's mind. And that's what people think they can do. Your children do it to you all the time. You say, listen, I said don't do that. Can I know you're not going? And they still come back later on. Mom, but I told you no.
8 times.
8 times? But they still do it. This is what children do. This is exactly what he's doing with God. He's playing this game with God. Let's read some more.
Now therefore I pray thee, tarry ye also here tonight, that I may know what Yahweh will speak unto me more.
You should already know it. Yahweh done told you. Yahweh is not man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. Go ahead.
And God came to Balaam at night and said unto him, if the men are come unto you, call you, rise up and go with them. But only the word that I speak unto thee, that shalt thou do.
Now see, this is the part where you got to be careful now. See, because God already seen your heart, man. God see what's in your heart. He said, you know what? I told you not to go. You come back and you're still entertaining this. When God sometimes don't answer your prayers of the righteous, it's because he loves you. You know that that's not a good prayer for you to be praying for. I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah.
But when God answers the prayers of the wicked, he's coming to bring judgment on them. And that's what's happening now. God said, okay, you want to entertain that. Now I'm bringing judgment on you. Yeah, you can go with them, but you're going to speak the words that I say. Come on.
Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab.
Yeah, he got up early in the morning. He's happy now. He got up and he's ready to go. Probably got at the crack of dawn.
Yep.
Saddling up his ass, ready to go. But he don't know. He's in a world of trouble right now. And this is a lesson. If God has given you and you know that this is what God says not to be, and you continue to entertain that with God, you're headed for the judgment of God. Because a lot of times, if we don't be corrected by our sins, if our sins don't be corrected by the word of God, then our sins will be connected by the judgment of God. That's what we got to be careful about. Come on.
And Yahweh's anger was kindled because he went. And the messenger of Yahweh placed himself in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his 2 servants were with him. And the ass saw the messenger of Yahweh standing in the way with his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. Did you first say that The angel of the Lord stood in the way to be an adversary.
Yes, sir.
An adversary. A Satan.
Yes, sir.
See, people get Satan mixed up.
Talk
They
about
think Satan is devil with the little red pitfork and the tail. And no. Satan, this is an angel that's a Satan. Because adversary means Satan.
Right.
And we all have to have Satans in our life because it strengthens us sometimes. You got to have something, because Satan means that which standeth in the way. That's what it means. That which standeth in the way. This is a Satan. Angel of the Lord sitting right there. And
the angel of the Lord.
hold on, let me go back with that a little bit. Because this donkey, this ass, this dumb donkey, he sees the angel of the Lord.
Right.
And he decides, not going any further, not going over there. So now you got this great gifted spiritual man,
right,
that can't perceive spirituality. But a dumbass can see spirituality and be more obedient to God than this so-called man. A dumbass. More obedient to God.
Message.
You can do what you beat me all you want to beat me.
I ain't going over there.
I ain't going over there. Let's read some more.
And the angel of Yahweh stood in a hollow way between the vineyards, a fence being on the one side and a fence on that side. And the ass saw the angel of Yahweh, and she thrust herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. And he smote her again.
The ass got shook. The ass said, oh no, because there's no place to go. The ass said, ooh, boom. And all of a sudden, my man crushed his ankle. Now, at this point and whatnot, you might want to start thinking, this trip might not have been a good idea. Maybe I should turn around and go back. It ain't starting right, but you know how the wicked think. The wicked think like this. They said, nah, this is the adversary. This is my enemies trying to come at me. So maybe I have to go forth because God is testing me. You know how your mind play tricks on you. But that's what happens when you're disobedient to God. Your mind started to play tricks on you. You start thinking other, because at this point, I probably need to go turn around. But wait, it gets even more. It's a little more coming now. Watch this.
And the messenger of Yahweh went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn to the right or to the left. And the ass saw the messenger of Yahweh, and she lay down under Balaam.
And she lay down. She said, you know what? She submitted. She said, I know what this is. I can't go either. I can't go nowhere. Now, you think of an angel, please don't think of an angel with the wings and a little diaper on and this and that. This is a fierce-looking entity.
No diapers?
This is a fierce-looking entity with a sword drawn.
Killer angel.
And God opened the donkey's eye, and the angel said, you know what? I'm going to lay down. I'm going to relax. And this guy is upset. He beat the dumb ass. And then something miraculous happens. What goes on here?
And Yahweh opened the mouth of the ass.
Say what?
And Yahweh opened the mouth of the ass. And she said unto Balaam, what have I done unto you, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the ass, because you mocked me. I wish there was a sword in my hand so I could kill you.
This is how cruel people are. You can imagine how this is what they did to God's prophets. These cruel type of people. Now, first of all, you did not hesitate to recognize that an ass is talking to you in an intelligent conversation, and you didn't even recognize that. You responded back, said, hey, I can kill you. You didn't even think to say,
Wasn't even shocked.
what's going on here?
That's right.
Well, you know, this is not normal. At no time did you feel like in a shock in the day, like, oh. He said, nah, he having a conversation with the donkey every day.
He probably is.
He said, I wish I'd have swore. The donkey said something. Somebody said, listen, all these years that I served you, have I ever disobeyed you, man? And you talk to the donkey like you talking to somebody that on a regular basis. Didn't even think about it.
Wasn't even shocked.
But you say, how could that happen? How could that happen? It's simple, folks. Is there anything out of God's reach? There's nothing. God spoke through the ass to speak to this other ass.
That's right.
talked through the ass and said, look, have I ever did anything wrong to you?
Right.
Disobeyed you?
Good question.
And at this point and whatnot, again, maybe this trip ain't a good idea. Still don't get it, folks. Let's read some more.
30. And the ass said to Balaam, Am I not thy ass upon which thou hast ridden all thy life long until this day? Was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, Nay. Then
so now the ass done humbled him in a conversation. You let an ass humble you in a conversation. He said, no. What? Come on.
And Yahweh opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the messenger of Yahweh standing in the way with his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell on his face.
Now you see the sword. Yeah, you humbled yourself, but I'm sure it's quite easy to humble yourself when you see an angel of the Lord standing there with a sword. I mean, it ain't like, you probably really humbling yourself. It's just you ain't got no choice in this matter right now. And who wouldn't in this situation? Because you ain't been humbled before. But read on.
32. And the angel of Yahweh said unto him, Why have you smitten your ass 3 times? Behold, I am come forth as an adversary, because your way is contrary to me. And the ass saw me and turned aside before me these 3 times. Unless she had turned aside from me, surely I would have killed you and saved her alive.
And saved her alive. So this is God having putting Balaam in check. He said, you was an adversary to me. He said, I told you one thing and you did another. He said, this is personal now. God is taking this personally of what you're doing and what you did. And I would have killed you. And I would spared her. I would spared her. So God, come on.
34. Balaam said to the messenger of Yahweh, I have sinned, for I knew not that thou stoodest away against me. Now therefore, if it displeases thee, I will get me back.
Now and again, listen to the man's word. Therefore, if it displeases thee. Yeah. What do you mean if it displeases you? He already told you that he was displeased with this. So he's still trying to hustle. God, if it really don't want me to go, I'll turn around and go back. Because you can see his heart ain't really in it. If you really don't want, I'll turn, because he's thinking about that money. He's thinking about that bag. He's thinking about that bag over there. Come on.
35. And the messenger of Yahweh said unto Balaam, Go with the men, but only the word that I shall speak unto you, that shall you speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. When Balak heard that Balaam was come, he went out to meet him unto Moab, which is on the border of Arnon, which is in the uttermost part of the border. Okay,
so now you got 2 idiots for the first time coming together to meet. These 2 idiots. God said, yeah, because God already said, he already see this thing about the Most High. He's the all wise, all knowing. So God already have a plan for this already. You just right now put yourself in a situation that you ought not have been in. But come on and get your judgment along with this, because God can make any situation that look like a negative and make it a positive. For Israel, God loved his people, man. God loved his people. This generation, if we could only understand how much God loves us, that alone would bring us to be a better crop of people, I would say. But we don't get it. We sick in the head. God said the whole head is sick. He said an ass off his owner, right, and an ox is master crib. Dumb ass and a lazy ox. But an ass know who his master is. And the ox know from whence he come. But Israel, my people, don't consider a damn thing. We don't think about from whence we come. We don't think about who we are. We don't even think about who we are. We think we African Americans. Still. We don't went from being what was it? We don't went from being what was he first called? No. Okay, let me see how this goes. Because it's a category, because it's on your birth certificate. So, yeah, you don't went from being colored to Negro to Afro to Black to African American. What's up with that? What's next? On the birth certificate. Because you check your grandmother's birth certificate, it'll say colored. We're the only people that happens to. No other people on the face of the earth. The Italians still, Joey Salami, Joey Bologna. They know for once they come. Russians, put on Russian. They ain't never changed. I'm Russian now, I'm Ukrainian. Ukrainian, Russian, the same damn thing.
Yeah.
It's the same damn thing.
Right, exactly.
So now they meet for the first time. Here we go.
37. And Balak said unto Balaam, did I not earnestly sin unto you to call you? Why didn't you come to me? Am I not indeed able to promote you to honor? And Balaam said unto Balak, lo, I am come unto thee. Have I now any power to speak anything? The word that Jehovah puts in my mouth, that shall I speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiryat Huzot. Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep, and he sent to Balaam and to the princes that were with him. And it came to pass in the morning that Balak took Balaam and brought him into Bamoth Baal, which he saw from thence the uttermost part of the people.
And he saw the uttermost part of the people. So Balak was already kind of like, in a way, setting it up. He's like, in case this thing don't work, it ain't my fault. And he's blaming God. He said, what can I do? If they don't, I can only say what God wants me to say. So this man is he's setting this up and whatnot because he's seriously afraid. He's looking at the host of the people. Israel is in their tents, meaning that they're. Let's read some more. I'm going a little ahead of myself.
23. And Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And Balak did as Balaam had spoken. And Balak and Balaam offered on every altar a bull and a ram. And Balaam said unto Balak, stand by your burnt offering, and I will go. Peradventure Jehovah will come meet me. Whatsoever he shows me, I will tell you. And he went to a bare height. And God met Balaam, and he said unto him, I have prepared the altars. I have prepared the 7 altars. And I have offered up a bullock and a ram on every altar. And Jehovah put a word in Balaam's mouth and said, return unto Balak, and thus shalt thou speak. And he returned unto him, and lo, he stood by his burnt offering, and all the princes of Moab. And he took up his parable and said, from Aram Balak bringeth me, the king of Moab from the mountains of the east. Come, curse me Yaakov, and execrate Israel. How shall I curse whom Jehovah hath not cursed? And how shall I execrate whom Jehovah hath not execrated? For from the top of the rocks I see him. From the hills I behold him. Lo, he is a people that dwells alone.
He said,
shall
I see
not
him.
be reckoned among the nations.
Shall not be reckoned. Just singular people. God said this is a singular people. We are not to be reckoned amongst the nation. We always trying to be into everybody else's stuff. We always trying to get down with everybody else get down. We never get down with each other and stay with one another. We so far from that right now. It's bananas, man. I mean, you look at some of the stuff that's going on. You see in the last couple of years, all these young rappers end up dead. All of them end up dead. All these so-called and everywhere. It's like, what's going on? I'm looking at our situation so bad. You think that we got people like Jay-Z, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. Name a few for me. Where the people with the money? Who the people with that bag?
Don't forget Diddy.
Huh?
Cosby.
Diddy, Cosby,
All of them.
or Oprah. You got all this. Our situation is so dire that if all of them died tomorrow or they lost all their money overnight, like just say overnight, all of them lost all their money, it wouldn't affect us at all. No difference. That's a damn shame. That's nothing good. But I go to show you that all of that don't mean nothing because it doesn't profit us nothing. It doesn't profit us nothing. So this curse, he said, Israel shall dwell alone. Alone. That's what God took us. He took us away from the nations because he didn't want the influence of the nations to be upon us. Because look what the nations have done to us with their influence. Look what they have done with us with their influence. It said, you know, now you're looking at road brushes way. They want to overturn the road brushes way thing and whatnot. I asked myself, I said, Is America actually trying to show some type of morality?
No.
That's not the America we know.
Something else under there.
Something else is happening. Something else is cooking with that. And it seems like they're just stirring the pot because all you see now is protest. And you're stirring up the violence in every pocket of the earth. Right. Every place in every pocket of the earth. You got this group saying this, and this group saying that, and this one saying that, and everybody's in the uprise. All over the world. Let's read some more.
Verse 10. Who have counted the dust of Yaakov, or number the stock of Yisrael. Let me die the death of the righteous. Let my end be like his. And Balak said to Balaam.
Hold on for a minute. You heard what this guy just now said? This guy just now said, let me die the death of the righteous. And what was the last one he said? The death of the righteous.
And let my end be like his.
And let my end be like his. But bro, you want to first let me live the life of the righteous. Because they go together. Right. Everybody wants the death for the righteous. Everybody wants the death for the righteous, but nobody want to live like the righteous. But they go together. Listen to this guy here. Listen to this talk. Come on.
And Balak said unto Balaam, what have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and behold, you blessed them all together. And he answered and said, must I not take heed to speak that which Jehovah puts in my mouth? And Balak said, come, I pray thee with me to another place, from whence thou mayest see them, and thou shalt see but the utmost part of them, and shalt not see all, and curse them from there.
They said, this place right here ain't working. Let's go to another part. Let me show you another part. But what he's doing, he's going around the whole place and giving Israel this blessing in an entirety. Because we out there heavy, man. We out there in numbers. We out there big. Come on.
And he took him into the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars and offered a bull and a ram on every altar. And he said to Balak, stand here by your burnt offering while I go toward a meeting yonder. Yehovah met Balaam and put a word in his mouth and said, return unto Balak, and thus shalt thou speak. And he came unto him, and lo, he stood by his burnt offering, and the princes of Moab with him. And Balak said unto him, what hath Yehovah spoken? And he took up his parable and said, arise, Balak, and hear. Give ear unto me, O thou son of Zippor. God is not a man that he should lie.
What?
Neither the son of man that he should repent. When he said, he will do it.
That's
but when
right.
he hath spoken, will he not make it good? Behold, I am bidden to bless, and when he hath blessed, I cannot call it back. None hath beheld iniquity in Yaakov, neither has one seen perverseness in Israel. Yehovah, his God, is with him. The shouting of the king is among them. God, who brought them forth out of Egypt, is for them like the lofty horn of the wild ox. For there is no enchantment with Yaakov, neither is there any divination with Israel.
They said there's no enchantment. There's no divination in Israel. You see, this God said, I didn't see no sin in Israel. And that's the only way Israel gets knocked off their stance, is to turn around and take the ways of these nations to participate in this. Because God made it clear. He said, listen, this law, this all you got to do is the law. It's simple.
That's it.
How shall I know the God before me? And, you know, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Honor your mother and father. Simple things. God said, this is simple stuff. He ain't asked you nothing hard. He ain't asked you to go up to the heavens and you know what I'm saying, go down here. He didn't ask you to do any of that. Matter of fact, he give you 6 days for your own desire and righteousness, your secular activities, and only ask for one.
That all?
That's not a justified God. I don't know what is. I mean, he's the king of the universe. He could say, I'm going to give you 1 day and I'm going to take the rest. But he said, I'm just going to give one. And Israel find it hard to do that. We find it hard to do that. Well, you know, I know I know it's a Sabbath day, but I gotta work. I gotta pay my bills. It's other stuff, what I'm saying? Most of the stuff, it's the only day that I get off. I'm working every day. This is the only day that I get off to enjoy myself. How black people is, I don't have no other time to enjoy myself. Let's read some.
Now it is said of Yaakov and of Yisrael,
Where
what
we at?
has God wrought? Verse 24. A people that rise up as a lioness, and as a lion doth he lift himself up. He shall not lie down until he eats of the prey and drinks of the blood of the slain.
That's God is saying there's nobody that can touch you. There's no people. God said you got God's full protection, God's full blessing surrounding you. I don't know what people in the world wouldn't want this. How would the people want to live like the way we live in? And we happy? How could we be so happy and nonchalant about our condition? How could we be so happy to recognize that our parents are burying their children? That's not happening no place else. You're burying your own kids. Some of them burying about 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. There was a lady ever, she done buried about 4 sons. And we ain't talking about the Maccabees.
Right.
Could you imagine that?
25. And Balak said unto Balaam, neither curse them at all, nor bless them at all.
At this point, he said, listen, man, if you ain't gonna curse them, then please don't bless them. What in the hell is you doing here? What are you doing, man?
It's the opposite. And Balaam answered and said to Balak, told I not thee, saying, all that Yahweh speaks unto me, that must I do. And Balak said to Balaam, come now, and I'll take you to another place.
I mean, he had enough yet?
Nope.
He wanted it again. He ain't getting it at all. He said, I'm taking you to another place. So you can see that this guy is earnestly trying to get this done. He said, because I know if we get these people to turn from their God, we can destroy them. Because it happens all the time. And he goes on again. Here we go. Go get your bullocks and your rams. Go. Come on.
Said, peradventure it will please God that thou mayest curse me them from there. And Balak took Balaam unto the top of Peor, that looked down upon the desert. And Balaam said unto Balak, build me here 7 altars, and prepare me here 7 bullocks and 7 rams. Okay, so now this is about 21 oxen and bulls and whatnot. This is not cheap. At all.
He got a substantial investment in Israel getting cursed. He put up some money he got for Balaam, that honorable money he talking about giving him, and all these sheep and rams, 21. Oh yeah, he's serious. He's serious.
And Balak did as Balaam said, and he offered up a bullock and a ram on every altar. Chapter 24. And when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahweh to bless Israel, he went not out as the other times to meet with enchantments, but set his face toward the wilderness. Yeah,
he said, I don't even have to go do nothing right now. We just going to go straight and get to this and whatnot, because right now it's done. Let's go.
And Balaam lifted up his eyes, and he saw Israel dwelling tribe by tribe, and Ruach HaElohim came upon him, and he took up his parable and said, the saying of Balaam the son of Beor, the saying of the man whose eyes is open, the saying of him who hears the words of God and sees the visions of the Almighty, falling down yet with open eyes. How goodly are thy tents, O Yaakov, and thy dwellings, O Yisrael, as the valleys stretched out, as gardens by the riverside, as aloe planted of the Lord, as cedars beside the water. Water shall flow from his branches, and his seed shall be in many waters, and his king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. Now, hold on. Listen to this. This is It said, this is nothing but pure blessings. This is nothing but pure breath overflowing me. Overflowing. Oh, man. Cup is running over. It don't get no better than this, y'all. It don't get no better than this. The land of milk and honey, the promised land. It said their tents, meaning that their people are mighty and strong. No diseases, no corona. Say what?
No pandemic.
Amen.
No inflation. And you ain't gonna need no baby formula. You ain't gonna need that. You got mother's formula.
That's right.
Real formula.
That's right.
We ain't gonna need none of that. I mean, we can only as if we dream. This is the blessing that God had set up for Israel. If Israel only knew, but Israel is stubborn. It says she's drunk, but not with wine.
Uh-oh.
She stumbleth as a drunk man, back and forth and back. That's all she do all day long. She don't consider. So what more can God do? The lashes is on you. And when God put this blessing on, this curse on us that we're receiving, that is said in Deuteronomy 26, even the heavens and the earth is against you. It's all against you, Israel. All the elements. It's a fight that we cannot possibly win. So God have to wait until there's a generation that decides to raise up and say, you know what? Enough is enough of this. We done had enough of this. No, we will not go to we will not attend your Christmas parties. We will not sit at your Thanksgiving table. We will not go to your Easter ceremonies. We will not be worshiping your Baal. We will not be worshiping your entertainment God, whatever that God with the Baphomet. We will not engage in any of this. We will not worship your money and your bag. Tell you, man, you'd be surprised, man. You look at these rappers, man. I was looking the other day. I said, man, what in the world going on? A lot of these rappers, they start hanging out. They're hanging out with billionaires. People that ain't into rap music. They're old white men. Old wrinkly up white men, and they're hanging out with them. And that's not what they talking on the records. They talking about, I'm hanging with my niggas. They're not with them, but all of a sudden, you go on YouTube and you pull up, you can see a couple of strange activities. It looks strange to me. Billionaires, because it's a difference between being rich and being wealthy.
Right.
That's two different things. So when you say you rich, okay, you rich, Jay-Z, Diddy are richer one. But wealthy is a whole different level. So they hanging out with the wealthy. And on the clips it was saying Kanye West, they was making bets or something like that. Kanye West is sitting in this luxury car, I don't know what it is, with these billionaires, and he's holding the food of the billionaire while he's eating out of his hand. I said, what? He's holding the man's food like this. Pull it up, bro. I just seen it yesterday. I tell you, no lie. I didn't believe it either until I listened to my man Academic say it. I said, I got to see this. And then he produced the footage. I said, and he's sitting there, Kanye, looking at the camera, and the dude is sitting there eating. Then he showed the one with my man Meek doing the bunny hop. He did the bunny hop. He said, if I beat you in tennis, this is the old rich, wealthy billionaires, then you're gonna have to bunny hop.
That's a bet.
What else are they doing? He's in there, they got him like this on the court. And he said, keep it going, Meek. Keep it going, Meek.
That's a bet.
Then the other one said, if you fall asleep tonight.
Wait, what? Ross, big man.
He said, if I fall asleep tonight, you can cut off 6 of my locks. I'm not gonna mention no more names here. I ain't gonna mention no more names. I just gave it to you. You go ahead and get there. You go ahead and do your research. Go ahead and do your research, man. And what my man was saying, there's never nothing like, okay, but what if I win? There's never nothing coming back to say, what if I win? So what's going on here? That's the question Academic was asking. What's really going on here, guys? Something is happening out there. You be careful what you wish for. All money ain't good money. Balaam.
Right?
Balaam's of the world. All money ain't good money. Let's read some more.
Verse 8. God who brought them forth out of Egypt is for him like the lofty horns of a wild ox. He shall eat up the nations that are his adversaries and break their bones in pieces and pierce them through with his arrows.
God is saying there's nothing can touch you, man. There's nothing. I don't know. Surely we sick. Let's at least get that straightened out right now. Let's not even fool ourselves anymore. We need some help. We sick. As a nation of people, we are sick. You talk about mental challenges, people with mental challenges, it don't get no worse than us. It don't get no worse than us. Our people hate each other, man. That's a curse within itself.
Verse 9. He couched, he lay down as a lion. As a lioness, who shall rouse him up?
Who shall rouse up that lion?
Blessed be everyone that blesseth thee,
What?
and cursed be everyone that curseth thee.
Blessed be everyone that blesseth thee, and cursed is everyone that cursed thee. But it doesn't. This blessing doesn't went aside from us. This is what we had. This from whence we come. And the reason why? Well, it's the story is going to tell you. I'm going to get ahead of myself. As the book revealed, the book will reveal. Come on.
And Balak's anger was kindled against Balaam.
Yeah, he upset now. He said, I didn't bring you all this way for this. I didn't pay for this.
And he smote his hands together.
Yeah, now you know he smote his hands together. I'm going to bring your neck, man.
And Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies. And behold, you altogether blessed them 3 times.
3 times. 3 in a row make the rooster crow.
Yes, sir.
That's what they say on the street.
Now therefore flee thou to thy place. I thought to promote thee unto great honor, but lo, Yahweh hath kept thee back from honor.
He said, Jehovah done kept you from this bag. Jehovah done kept you from this bag. So now you done wasted your time. You done got your foot crushed. You done got, took this long trace of time, because time is valuable.
Time is money.
And you ain't got no bag. Get out my face, basically. Get moved from my sight, man. But now, Balaam got something for him too. Balaam said, okay, that's what we're doing? The next one is on me. Come on.
Balaam said unto Balak, spoke I not unto thy messengers that thou didst send unto me, saying,
Told you.
if Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of Yahweh to do either good or bad
listen
of
to
my
this guy.
own mind.
Ooh, this guy got a conversation. He got a conversation. He's a bad guy, man. He said, I told you, if you gave me silver and gold, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to at least bring some good to himself right now. Because he's in a bad state and he's feeling bad. So he's trying to put some good, make his big himself up some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I told you, man. Don't blame me. You the one came looking for me. You know how people get. Things don't go their way. I told you so. You didn't want to listen to me. You didn't want to listen to God.
Right.
God told you not to go. Come on.
What Yahweh speaks, that will I speak. And now behold.
Now it's funny that he knows about Jehovah. Yeah. It's funny that he knows this God.
Offerings.
Even though he's a prophet for hire, that with spiritual gifts, he know of the true and living God.
That's where everything come from.
Sort of like Jethro. Remember Jethro? Jethro knew of the true and living God. He said, listen, that mountain over there, that's the mountain of God. That's the mountain of God. People know who Yahweh is. Melchizedek.
World famous.
Man went out to meet him. He talked about the true and living God. Don't let people fool you. People know of this God.
Worldwide.
These your captives, your oppressors know of this God. They can sit around and talk about JJ all day long.
It's a hoax.
But they know of this God.
That's right.
Only people that don't know are the people of God. They know this God. And they know that he is God. Let's go.
14. Now behold, I will go to my people. Come, and I will announce to thee what this people shall do unto your people in the end of days. And he took up his parable and said,
He said, now I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in the days. He said, you ain't got to burn nothing. You ain't going to give me one. This one is on me. Come on.
the saying of Balaam, the son of Beor, and the saying of the man whose eyes is open, the saying of him who hears the words of God and knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the visions of the Almighty falling down yet with open eyes. I see him, but not now.
He said it's coming. He said, I see it, but it ain't happening now.
I behold him, but not nigh.
I behold it. It's coming, but not now.
There shall
He's
step
talking about the future. The future in Israel.
There shall step forth a star out of Yaakov,
Huh?
and a scepter shall rise out of Yisrael, and smite through the corners of Moab, and break down all the sons of Sheth. Edom shall be a possession. Seir also, even his enemies shall be a possession, while Yisrael doeth valiantly.
He said there will be a star that will rise up out of Israel.
Talk about
I
it.
thought about it. I said, was he talking about King David?
Yes, sir.
Was he talking about the Messiah that's coming? I'm like, I'm trying to not on the fence with it a little bit. I don't know.
David. It's David.
I say David. Talking about
Edom
David.
became a possession.
Yep. That's right. Come on.
Out of Yaakov one shall have dominion, and shall destroy the remnant of the city. And he looked on Amalek, and he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his end shall come to destruction.
Now he's taking shots.
Yep.
Everybody's around and said, listen, I got something for you too. Hey, Amalek, check this out. Come on, he ain't finished. There's a couple of them, because they're all down together. All the nations conspired to take Israel out. All of them. So they all there. Amalek there, Canaan there, Moab there. They got another one over. They're all there. But he giving shots. He said, I got bullets for every last one of y'all. I got bullets for every last one. And he gonna shoot them too. Come on.
21. And he looked at the Queenites and took up his parable and said,
Again. Hey, I ain't forget about you. Come on.
Though firm be thy dwelling place, and though thy nest be set in the rock, nevertheless Cain shall be wasted. How long? Ashur shall carry thee away captive. And he took up his parable and said, Alas, who shall live after Yahweh hath appointed him? But the ship shall come from the coast of Chittim, and they shall afflict Ashur and afflict Eber, and he also shall come to destruction. And Balaam rose up and went and returned to his place, and Balak went his way. Chapter 25.
And they went their way. They said, okay.
In Shittim.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just get something out of that and whatnot. So now he done did what he had to do, but there's a problem with Israel.
Right.
This is when it gets a little strange in Israel, because the prophet came all the way this way, and so-called prophet, and he was unable to get the job done. In fact, God's will was completed. Not man. Man proposed, but God disposed. The will of God will always be fulfilled. There's no getting around that. Come on.
Chapter 25.
Chapter 25.
And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit harlotry with the daughters of Moab. They called the people unto the sacrifices of their demons, and the people did eat and bow down to their demons. And Israel turned himself unto the demon of Pure, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled against him.
Hold on now a minute. See, what the so-called prophet was not able to do to Israel, Israel did it to themselves. Israel turned around and did it to themselves all the time. They turned around, and I guess Balaam must have left him with a little advice. Listen, man, Balaam, I'm gonna leave you with this, because I need that bag. So, I'm gonna leave you with this. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to curse them, but you bring out some of them pretty little fine Moabite daughters there and whatnot, and send them out there amongst them and whatnot. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. They do it to themselves, and it happens all the time. That's all they gotta do. They start sending them little damsels out there. They said, woo-wee, and Israel started getting going. They started getting it going. Let's read some more, because they're going to tell you too. Watch this. Watch what this thing consists of.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Take all the chiefs of the people and hang them unto Yahweh in the face of the sun.
Right.
That the fear saying of Yahweh may turn away from Israel.
That's right, because this was an openly sin. So God said, we're going to give you an openly judgment. Hang all the monkeys. Hang all of them. And you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's going to tell you all of them. Bring them all out. And so you can make this known in Israel. This ought not be done. Because now you done took to partake in these what is it? What is I'm trying to say? The offerings, the drink offerings, and the food offerings, and then you participate in, and this is all to Baal. That what's that god name again? Baphomet. That Baphomet character. That's nothing new. That character goes way back to these days here. And now you're participating in the orgies of this god. Because this God, this is how they worship this God in sexual situations. This is what's going on. And Israel, you know, Israel gets down with that. You know what I'm saying? Israel, listen, Israel love to party, man. We love to party. Listen, you go into any barbershop and any beauty salon, and all you see on the table is a bunch of damn flyers for parties. That's all we do. You don't never see no with no knowledge. You don't never see a pamphlet with some truth. You don't see nothing like, wake up, Negro, it's time to go home. Israel's like, I'm woke, but I ain't ready to do nothing. I ain't ready to work. Just because I'm woke don't mean I'm ready to do something.
You just know about it.
Just tell me where the party is.
That's it.
That stripper pole ain't nothing new. That goes back to this time. With Baal, this goes back to ancient days. With a Shira.
Something like that.
Something to that effect. That's old, man. So that's how he got us. So now God told Moses, he said, Moses, look here, get all the elders and drive out all the monkeys and hang every last one of them in the sight of everybody. In the sun. Come on.
And behold, one of the children of Yisrael came out and brought his brethren, a Midianitish woman, in the sight of Moshe and in the sight of the congregation of the children of Israel while they were weeping at the door of the tent of meeting.
Why are they weeping? Because from what I heard, it was 2,400, 24,000, something like that got killed that day. And yeah, 24,000? 24,000. So you know Balak is like, not bad. I didn't have to pay for this. You know? So they weeping. A lot of them have family members. That's 24, you're going through it. And then this character has the nerve to come by with Megan the Stallion. He coming through with Megan the Stallion, like, hey, Shalom, brothers, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Probably drunk too. What's up, y'all? Yeah, my tent right there, baby girl. Yeah, just go on in there. No, don't worry about them, they're all right. They're all right. And what happens?
And when Pinchas ben Eleazar, the son of Aharon, the Kohen, saw it, he rose up from the midst of the congregation and took a spear in his hand. He went after the man of Israel into the chamber and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly.
Okay, so we already see what's going on. He thrust them through. There's something going on. There was an activity happening in there. And he came up in there in that tent and said, oh, I hope you get a good one. Right. Because it's going to be the last one. Yeah. Thrust him straight through. And that was zealousness. Because sometimes an act of one righteous could save a bunch. That's why don't never be afraid to stand up and be righteous. Don't never be afraid. The act of one man turned the wrath of God from everybody, because God looking to wipe everything out. God looking to wipe everything. I said, Moses, the wrath is coming. Yeah. I'm wiping everybody up out of here. And that one man, let's read. I think I got ahead of myself, but
so the plague was stayed from the children of Israel.
So the plague was stayed because it was coming for the act of one man. Mm-hmm.
Those that died by the plague were 24,000.
24,000.
Hallelujah.
24,000. Hallelujah. Praise the living God. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out a story I want to give you. I don't know which one I want to do and whatnot.
Got
Man, I'm gonna give you this one. I gave this one last time, so I'm gonna get this one. I don't know if I heard it. It's a little boy who goes to school. Teacher says, who know what the government is? Anybody know what the government is? What does the government? So nobody kids know. Said, well, that's your homework assignment. Go home and ask your parents what government is. So little Johnny goes home. And he asked his mother. He said, Mom, what is the government and whatnot? So she says, look, wait till your father come home and ask him. I'm busy. So Johnny's thinking about it. Father comes to the door. Johnny sees his father. He asks his father. He said, Dad, what is the government? What is the government? So his dad said, look here, let's put it this way, son. I'm the president, right? Your mother is the Congress. Your maid is the working class. You are the people, and your little brother is the future. Johnny said, Johnny said, I don't get it. Father said, don't worry about it, sleep on it. So Johnny went to sleep. He hears his little brother crying late at night, about 12 o'clock at night. His brother's crying. Johnny gets up and he looks for his mom. So he go to the room to go see his mom, and she's sound asleep. Sound asleep. So he said, where's Dad? He goes to the room. He looks for his dad. He looks inside the maid's room. His father's having sex with the maid. Johnny said, all of a sudden the light bulb went off. Johnny said, I get it. He said, the Congress is asleep. The president is screwing the working class. Nobody cares about the people, and the future is full of sugar, honey, iced tea. Hallelujah.